I might do Monticello then. All right.
You want to leave this up there for her or for me?
For me, really, more than anyone else. All right. Welcome. Okay. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. It's a delight to see so many of you here with us, and I know that there are also many of you joining us online tonight, and it's such a pleasure to daven together, and it was so nice to meet so many of you and enjoy really some good popsicles tonight. I have to tell you, I think it was an upgrade from the popsicles a couple weeks ago, so if you were at both popsicle events, I had the sugar-free one, really good. We're going to get started with our bat mitzvah, who became bat mitzvah just yesterday morning, being called to the Torah, Abigail Cherno, who's going to lead us in Shalom Aleichem on page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashari,
Malachei Elyon, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Chem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashat, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seidchem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shkoach Abigail and Yasher Koach, thank you everyone for being here. We're going to now have Mark Krell, who is helping lead our services this evening while Cantor Rubinstein is away, will lead us as we continue our services with Yedid Nefesh on page 10.
Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdeach Eritzonach Yarutz Avdach Kimo Ayal Yishtachaveh Muhadarach Ki Yerav Lo Yedidutach Minofet Sufechotam Adorna Ziv HaOlam Nafshi Cholet Avatach Ana Elna Rifana La Beharot La Noam Zivach Az Titchazek V'Titbrape V'Haitalach Shivchat Olam Batik Yehemu Rachamecha V'chuzna Al Ben Ahovach Ki Ze Kama Nichsoch Nisaf Lirot B'Tiferet Uscha Ana Eli Machmad Libi Chusana Ve'al Titalem Yigalena Ufros Chaviv Alai Et Sukat Shelomech Ta'ir Eretz Mikvodach Nagila V'nismecha Bach Mehar Ahuv Kiva Moed V'chaneni Ki Me'olam Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai Yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 die.
L'chuna ranana, page 11.
Lechu neranena l'Adonai nariya litzor yishenu nikadma fanav betodah bizmirot nariya lo. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar am toy levath behem lo yadu drachai asher nishpati ve'api im yevon el menuchati.
We turn to page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu
Hashamayim, Hashamayim.
Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yehiramayam, 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 umla. Yehiramayam, 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 umla. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yehiramayam, 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 umla. Yehiramayam, 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 umla.
Now to page 16, Or Zarua. 4 lines from the bottom of the page.
Or Zarua la tzadik, ol Yisrael lev simcha, simchu tzadikim baronai, vehodu lezecher kodsho.
And it's now my pleasure to invite our bat mitzvah Abigail once more to lead us in Romamu on page 20 at the little red arrow. Ki, 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 ki. Nemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki, ki. Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki, ki, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Abigail, beautiful. Thank you. And now Mark will lead us once more, beginning on page 21. We rise for Havu Adonai, Psalm 29.
Havu Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu Adonai kavod ba'os, Havu Adonai kevod shemo, Ishlach Havu Adonai v'hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai amayim el hakavod hirim Adonai amayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon. Vayarkidem kimo egel Lebanon vesirion kimo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzev lahavot esh, Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot ויחשוף יערות וככלו כולו אומר כבוד כולו אומר כבוד Adonai lama bu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam Adonai os le'amo yiten Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
Seated as we turn to Lachadodi on page 23.
Lechadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Meherosh mikedem nisucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumitei mitoka hafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu yachmo alai chemla Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Hina'ari me'afar kumi Livshi bigdei tifartech ami Ahal yad ben Yishai beit halachmi Karva el nafshi ge'ala Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Kiva ore kumi ori uri shir daberi Kivod Adonai alaik nigla Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lo tevoshi lo tikami matishtochahi umatehemi bach yechesu ani ami benivneta ir altila lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela V'hayulim shisa shosayich v'racha kuko Mevalayich yatsis alayich Elohayich Kim shos chatan al kala Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Yaminu smati frotzi v'et Adonai tariti ayad ish ben parti v'nismecha v'nagila lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise and turn towards the entrance as we turn for the final paragraph of Lechadodi to welcome in the bride of Shabbat. We take a moment and a deep breath and we let go of all the different things that we feel are holding us back, all the anxieties and stresses of this week. And we welcome in a new week, a new moment to be with God, to be with ourselves, to grow, to learn, and to be filled with light.
Gam b'simcha u'tzahala, toch emunei am sigula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And we are seated as we turn to page 27, the Psalm for Shabbat.
Mizmor shir, leyom ha-Shabbat. Mizmor shir, leyom ha-Shabbat. Tov lehotav Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, v'emunatcha b'leilot. Amen. Sorry. Tzadikat amar yifrach, ke'erez bavanon yiskeh, shetulim beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvun beseva, deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid, ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatavo.
Page 29.
Adonai malaka lavesh Adonai osita zahar aptikon teva batimod. Edo techanemnu me'od leveitcha nava kodesh Adonai liorech yamim.
Mourners and those observing Yahrzeit, rise and join with me in the words of Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divara kirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zaman kariv, ve'imeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach, le'alam ul'omei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpawar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha, barich hu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, ve'imeru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'meromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshevei tevel ve'imeru amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Oh, it's wonderful to be here with you. And it's wonderful to celebrate with you, Abigail. Mazel tov on becoming bat mitzvah yesterday and leading us as a community on this day as well. I'd like to talk this evening about laundry. A lot of us just had popsicles. Those of us with children now have popsicle stains on our children's outfits. And laundry is not something that I confess I particularly enjoy. And with two young children at home, including one that runs and dances, as you've all witnessed tonight, on cue. Thanks, Becky. Laundry is something that is a task that we have to do in our home, and yet, having traveled to other parts of the world where they don't have the kinds of washers and dryers that we're privileged to have, I feel a little bit spoiled. Charlene and I recently closed on our home, and we're at the shop looking at appliances and picked out a washer and dryer just the other day, which I anticipate will serve us well. But I can't help think about years ago when I was in rabbinic school, and I traveled to El Salvador with a group of rabbinic students to learn about other parts of the world and how people live. And while I learned about the geopolitics of the region and met lots of people there, I have to tell you, of all the things now, a decade later, this trip, the thing I remember most is not having laundry machines and hand-washing laundry, scrubbing by hand with soap, trying to dry things on clotheslines in a region that has as much rain on average every couple nights as we had last week. And I just remember being woken up by a rabbinic classmate of mine, being told that it was raining and to run and try to gather the laundry, and felt such gratitude and so spoiled when I came back to this country and had a laundry machine of my own and pushed a few buttons, and even though it seemed like a tedious activity between washing and drying and folding and dryer sheets and fabric softener and all the other things, detergent and so forth, and yet it was so much easier than what I had done when I was there. I was thinking about this in part because in this week's Torah portion, Moses reminds the Israelite people about all the little miracles that for the most part we've overlooked throughout the journey of the wilderness, because these are the miracles that were taken for granted day in and day out, and that once the Israelites are entering the promised land, they're going to have to make do for themselves. So Moses talks about the manna and the way in which food came from heaven, and they didn't have to do so much to create their food, and now they're going to have to grow their own food. And Moses talks about how their shoes magically never wore out. But the thing that blows me away is that the same clothing that the Israelites left with 40 years ago in the wilderness, and the implication of the Torah is that every person has one, maybe two garments total, never wore out. And the rabbis comment on it and said, divine clouds actually came down and cleaned the dirt that accumulated on each garment, and then bleached, essentially, all of the clothes so that they remained a pristine white the whole way through the wilderness. And they didn't have to do anything for it. And I'm so envious. And it's something that if not for this one verse in the Torah, we might never have even asked the question, what about the clothes of the Israelites? Because what this portion is all about is it's all about gratitude for those things that became so regular and so normal that even though they were majestic and awesome, we take them for granted. And there are so many things like that in our lives today. And it's not just technologies like the washing machine and the dryer, like the cell phone that a lot of us still have in our pockets on Shabbat, which is can do so many things that it's unbelievable. That there are so many things in our lives that are moments that are precious, moments with the people that we love, that we take for granted, and that we don't realize how much we cherish them until the moment comes when we can no longer take it for granted. Abigail, tonight, yesterday morning too, your parents and your grandparents and your family are looking at you, and they are just filled with awe and wonder and overcome with love because of how amazing and incredible you are. And the truth is, what every bat mitzvah, what every bar mitzvah is really about, it's about stepping out for a moment and recognizing how amazing this person in front of us is. Being able to celebrate and appreciate someone that so often we take for granted, that from time to time, when we're parents, requires our attention and can be sometimes tedious or challenging. But at the same time, to recognize what an extraordinary blessing it is to be able to create and shepherd new life in the world and to see that life blossom into adulthood. Jackie, Brad, well done. But the truth is, for all of us, the challenge of this portion is to recognize that we are not so different from the Israelites that Moses is speaking to. that so often the things and the people in our lives we take for granted, and we don't step back and take the time to share and to recognize how awesome, appreciated, and amazing this world, our privileges that we enjoy, and the people that make us whole, how special they truly are. So the message of this portion, and my message for you, is take a moment and think about the things in your life, the people in your life that you're grateful for. Think about the things that you take for granted and take for advantage of every day. Before you go to bed, think about 3 things that you are grateful for, and I promise you, you'll have a better night's sleep. Wake up in the morning and express your gratitude for the world around you and for being part of it, and you will have a better day. Share with the people that are most cherished that they are most cherished. That's what Moses, that's what all of us, and the Torah's message for us is this evening. So each of you, thank you for being here. Know that you're cherished by me and by so many others. Know that we are blessed to walk in this world together. Shabbat Shalom. It's now my delight to invite Abigail Cherno to lead us in the Baruch Hu. Please rise.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Thank you, Abigail. You may be seated. Mark Krell now leads us at the bottom of page 39.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'aravi.
Amen. Page 40.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shokbenu u'vekumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Abigail will now lead us in the Shema on page 41. Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Elohecha, b'chol lebavcha, b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, b'hayu hadvarim ha'ele. Anochi b'tzalecha, hayom al levavecha, b'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam. Cham bebetecha, achtecha baderech, u'shochbecha uvkumecha, al yadecha, v'hayu l'tutafot ben enecha, u'chtav ta'am al mezuzot betecha, u'v'yisha'arecha v'hayoim shmonim. Mark.
Yomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei v'dehem ledorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf betil techelet v'haya lachem letzitzit uritem oto uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem Asher atem zonim acharehem leman tiskeru ve'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. U'malchuto v'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'emru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nahora tehilot osefele malchutcha ra'u banecha bokeyam lifnei Moshe Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael
5, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu
Leshalom.
leshalom V'hamidenu
Malkeinu lechayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu lechayim.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that they don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war and the children will play. One day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch ata Adonai Apores sukat shalom aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
We're going to rise as we turn to page 46, and it's my pleasure to invite all of the young ones that are here that would like to join Mark up here in leading Vishamru to come on up and help lead us. Yeah, that's you. That's you. All right. I guess it's me.
I'll jump at once.
Come on. We're going to have fun. All right.
He's too old to come up.
He's too old to come up? Okay. Okay. Well, you can't see it on the camera, but they're coming.
Okay.
Page 46.
Veshamru
V'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam. Yeah, it's time to come up. Veshamru v'nei. Do you want me to lift you up? Et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat. Oh yeah?
Beini uve'menei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
חצי קדש.
יתגדע ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי.
בחייך
וביומך
וביומך
ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בהגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו.
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשם.
בריחו
מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה
נחמתה תמירן בימה במהרו.
Amen. We remain standing, for the Mariv Amidah, beginning on page 47. It's recited in silent standing devotion. It's a chance to offer the prayers of our heart or the prayers on the page.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Yikara Yikara Shemei Rabbi.
Amen.
V'amadi Rachurte V'amlich Machute V'chayechona V'yamechon V'chayedecho B'Yisrael V'agalav Yismad Kari V'imeru.
Amen. Yehishmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulamei Omaya Yibarach
Yibarach V'yishtabach V'yipar V'yirma V'yinaseh V'yidadar V'yidalev V'yidalav Shemei Kudashah.
B'richu
Ami Kol Berchata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechemata Tamiran Be'ama V'imruhu. Amen.
Amen.
Kabel Tzalot Tahon Uvutahon Dechol Yisrael Kadam Avuhon Devishmaya V'imruhu.
Amen.
Yehesh Lama Rabba Mitshemaya V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imruhu.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'imramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yishvei Tevel V'imruhu.
Amen. We'll now offer a prayer of healing for all those who are ill. Nu mekor haberocha lahimotainu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who brought healing to Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those for whom we now pray. Mabry Ballard, Mayor David Ben Brindle, Brooklyn Adley Moskowitz, Betty Hirsch, Michelle Adler, Michal Bat Mia, Shalom Ben Pesel, Chaim Michael Ben Yitzchak V'Yocheved, Errol Rafal, Steve Carell, Chaim Ben Chanava Label, Sean Naughton, Mike Martin, Eileen Martin, Iris Granick, Brian Perlman, Betty Singer, Shira Bat Chaya V'Moshe, Chaya Chasel Bat Devora, Anshel Ben Kleina Fega, Anna Boardman, Shmuel Velvel Ben Devora, Chaya Bat Rella, Rafal Chaim Ben Sylvia, Aaron Ephraim Ben Zvi Schneer, Froma Elka Bat Arya Leib Esther Rachel, Roberta Lipsman, Hainik Ben Rhodes, Chaim Leib Ben Pinchas Vizelda, Tammy Trow, Sarah Vida Bat Esther, Perla Bat Chila Esther, Barak Ben Bracha. If you have someone in mind that you'd like to share the name of at this time, please. Malka Devor Bat Chayla Shendel. Yes. Eliyahu Ben Shoshana. Dannah Swanger. Do my thing. V'kol HaCholim. May the Holy One restore them to fullness of health, of body, of mind, and of spirit, and bless them and all others on the road to recovery. Mishaberach imotenu mekor haberocha lawavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema. We now have the chance for Abigail to lead us once more, this time in the Aleinu prayer. So please rise for Aleinu. This evening we're recognizing the Yurtzites of Milton Glantz, Diane Ruth Kleiner, Anna Lefstein, Bernice Young, Gail Glazer, Moshe Chaim Orlinsky, George Gottfried, Molly Rosenthal, Samuel Lutsky, David Golub, Zelda Kravitz, Larry Dratler, Sigmund Petrushka, Lois Schaefer, Sigmund Petrushka, Gamiel, Ross Breitbart, and Eleanor Polinoff. Mourners and those observing Yurtzeit, please rise and join with me in the words of Kaddish, which can be found on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divara kirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zaman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam ul'omei ulmaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpawar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barich hu le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshevei tevel ve'imeru amen. You may be seated. It's my pleasure now to invite Rick Golub with this evening's announcements.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, Rick.
Thanks. Rabbi Green, thank you for this evening, along with Mark Krell, Yasher Koach, and also Mazel Tov to Abigail. Great job this evening, and I'm sure you did a great job yesterday as well. As always, wherever Scott is in internet land, thank you for all of your hard work and putting all that together. And I think Sam did the greeting tonight, so you were all greeted well, I take it. So thank you. Check the e-bulletin for all the latest news. As you probably have already heard a zillion times, but now we'll make it a zillion and one, the Or Tzion cookbook test kitchen is ongoing. And if you'd like to cook or try out some recipes, you can look on the website, and there's a section where you can sign up to try out some of these recipes for our upcoming cookbook. It's going to be great. High holiday information will be coming soon. I know I keep saying that, but it is true, and it's still being worked on, and very soon we'll have new information on that. And finally, gift to the heart. Those of you who have given already for your annual gift, thank you. Those who haven't, we're anxiously looking forward to seeing your gift. So please honor your commitment and to the synagogue. One last plug, this one's not on here, but upcoming is a new football season. And as always, I will be chairing and leading the Or Tzion Fantasy Football League. There will be more information about this coming soon as well. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, Rick. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to invite Abigail to lead us in Kiddush. Abigail's going to be using a Kiddush cup that was her great-grandfather Bernie Love's Kiddush cup for Kiddush this evening. Abigail, here you are. Please rise for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hadafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitzanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shavat kodsho v'yahava u'ratzon hinhilanu Zikaron lama asevereshi. Ki hu yom tehila. Lamikrae kodesh. Zehir lasiat mitraim. Ki vanu beharta. Beotanu kidashta.
Mikol ha'amin Beshabbat kodecha Be'ahava uvrata Hinachaltanu
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashem.
Amen. Beautiful, Abigail. And now we're going to conclude our service with, would you like to do Yigdal? Or Mark, what do you have in mind? Yigdal. All right. You may be seated.
Yigdal Elohim Chai V'yishtabach Nimtza V'yen et El Metziuto Echad V'yen Yachid Keyichudo Nelam V'gam Ein Sof Le'achduto Ein Lo Demut HaGuf V'yeino Guf Lo Na'aroch Elav Kedushato Kadmon L'chol Davar Asher Nivra Rishon v'yein reshit le'reshito. Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar. Yoreh gedulato u'malchuto. Shefa nevuato netano. El anshe segulato v'tifarto. Lo kam b'Yisrael kemo she'od. Navi u'mahabit et temunato. Torat emet natan le'amoel. Al yad neviyo neman beito. Lo ya khalifa el velo ya mirdato. Leolamim lezulato. Sofe v'yodeyas tetarenu. Mabit l'sof davar bekadmato. Gomel li'ish chesed kemifalo. Noten l'rasha ra kerishato. Yishlach l'ket yamin meshichenu. Lifto mechake ket Yeshuato. Metim Yechayel berov chasto. Baruch adei ad shem tehilato. Metim Yechayel berov chasto. Baruch adei ad shem tehilato.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Just want to thank once more the Moskowitz family, the Binder family, and everyone else who helped set up all the popsicles for us to enjoy earlier today. Thanks to all of you for being here. To those of you online, Rob, Allison, Alan, John, and so many others, thank you for being with us. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, umevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, umevorach. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. Adonai oz lemo yiten, Adonai varech et amova shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.